Hi everyone, it's great to be back there. I think we haven't talked for a while and it's been more than a month, but I hope I'm getting back on track. And today I wanted to share with you my reading journey, the book that it's called Divine Rivals by Rebecca Rose. I basically saw it on the TikTok, and the phrase that hits me all the time, it's that the book have a dramione vibes. The synopsis tells us, you will never gonna believe what just happened. On the last piece of video, someone called me in WhatsApp, and it was some unknown number, and I was like, who the fuck can call me in almost 10 p.m. at night when I'm filming some videos? And that actually was my friend neighbor who lives in the same dormitory, and they were down there. We have a tennis table there, and I hate to shut my window, so everyone who lives in the building that's in front of my building can see that I have this circle lamp and the sunset lamp, and they said, are you filming some TikToks? Go down there and we will talk. Basically, I'm back there to tell you about what's actually synopsis of the book tells. When two rival journalists find love through a magical connection, their fate depends on their facing the depths of hell together. So I think that hell catches already. I mean, if you wasn't caught on the phrases like rival, magical connections, phase, the hell is the last point when you give up. I'm already into 40 pages. The story is from the perspective of two male and female characters who work in the same magazine, which is called Gazette. The war is going on. Hard to say right now who is fighting for which side is good, which side is not, but I know this war is somehow connected to the gods who are currently sleeping. Well, Iris, the main female character, her eldest brother right now is fighting in the war, and she writes him letters, and once she have put her letter in the wardrobe, they started to disappear, and that's how actually magical houses work in this world building. But she didn't know who actually received all these letters, and once 6 months in after she started to write this goddamn letters every night, a little piece of paper which said, I'm not Forrest. Forrest is the name of her eldest brother. Now we start getting something from the male perspective. His name is Rowan, and the rivals at work because they're trying to get the same position and they compete each other in the amount of articles that are posted by them in this gazette. He knows that it's she immediately because her writing is extraordinary and she is overall the exquisite. He knows that it's her, but he doesn't tell her that it's he. It's actually what was in the first 40 pages of the book. I hope I will like it. I hope I will genuinely like it. I'm back to you. It's already the next day, the next evenings actually, and I want you to see my new cup. It was a present from my boyfriend, and I actually changed their image based on the temperature inside of the cup, and right now it's really hot because I just poured the whole hot water. I'm already on page 129. Read not so many today, but I will read right now. But I want to tell you what's actually happened in the book. It's actually the great pacing, the great temp of everything what's going on inside of the book. After the male character Roman knew that he's texting his rival, many things happened actually, and one of it was unexpected one. I will not spoiler you what actually it was, but it was traumatizing somehow, and the way that he shared it to him, not knowing who is this person she is writing her letters, and she told that she is typing out her pain. Because of that, she quits her job, going nowhere, no one knows where. All the bones here are connected. Everything that is mentioned in the book is actually quite predictable, because if something was mentioned in the beginning, 100% this topic will be somewhere in the middle of the book or at the end of the book, she found the competitor magazine needs a war correspondence. She go there to get the job, to get the hire, to get the job. And she goes actually to the front line of the war. Right now, many magical secrets actually revealing, according to her, like typer of her granny, that actually with which she actually sent these letters. So it's not the magic house itself that give them opportunity to share the letters between each other, but the typewriter itself. Something happened to Rowan, and I mean, I actually started to see something similar to dramione vibes, because she's from the poor family who actually cannot afford the basic things, and he is from the wealthy family who has an arranged marriage, who has their own rules, so on. So I see the vibes of Draco Malfoy and the Hermione Granger. It's more than I expected to see the similarity between these characters. And I love to read the letters that they write to each other, because they're so deep, thoughtful, interesting, and they conclude like really thoughts, emotions, and I can feel it through the paper, everything that each character writes to each other or share their like childhood memory and something like that. Yeah, when she goes to the war, actually like the connection is broken between them, and no one knows in this world where she went, why she went there. So yeah, it would be interesting to see them reconnect, how it is going to be, and the main question, will there be any romance in the first book? Because as far as I know, it's at least a duology, but I think it's a trilogy. And first of all, I thought it's like a one night stand book, okay, a standalone book. I will be hooked up and I will have a cliffhanger in the end of the book. It will be sad because I will need to wait another, I don't know, like several months, years to get the next chapter, next book, sequel. On the page 150, and you know, I love this like trope or situation in the book when it's like a wealthy family with its own rules, and everyone tells you what to do, and you have one supportive relative who tells you there's always a choice. Are you going to let your father write your story, or will you? And I liked it. I like supportive relatives. Page 172. I'm going really fast through the story. I admire so much. I love reading their letters to each other, how deep they are, strong the word that they share with each other. I smile every time that I read their interactions. However, when you feel something from the book and you smile, or you agree with the character, or you feel the pain, both of them have their own problems, their own demon that they're fighting. Roman, as I said, he's in this wealthy family and they arrange him a marriage with a person who he doesn't know her, and she doesn't want to know him too, because she has her own someone. I think her family somehow influencing the war, how the wars goes, because there was like a chapter, like a piece of chapter when it said that she and his father are preparing something for the war. We don't know yet what that, if they are. I think it's somehow something like a magical weapon, something that will actually change the whole war and who is currently winning. Moreover, we know more right now about the myths between Dakre and Enva. There's like two gods. Now we know why, what actually happened. I think in the next books, gods will be involved in the war. So it will be not only the symbols of the war, so they both are also fighting, battling. Right now they are dead, but you know, nothing stayed dead forever. He went for her as a war correspondent at the same place where she is. I waited them when they reconnect, but she still doesn't know that she was writing her letters to him. She literally saved his life by hiding him from the Atros. It's some like the opponent army uses these flying creatures to like bombs, and when they are out there, the siren alarm is on, and if you are outside, you have 2 minutes to go lie on the floor and don't move because they will eat you fucking alive, or you need to hide inside. And she saw him on the streets, and he didn't know about these sirens and what does it mean, because there's like 3 types of sirens. After everything was and they were down on the floor line, and when like siren went off, she wasn't so exhausted and stiff from the heroin encounter they had miraculously survived. She would have knocked away his touch, she would have slapped it, she might have kissed him. He only smiled as if he had read her mind and said, "It's good to see you again, too, we know." All each other by their last name. I love it. So I'm on page 205. Some of the time, they live like in the house which is 80 kilometers from the front line, and each week or each 2 weeks they bring one correspondent to the front line to gather the news and so on, to write it inside of the articles. When the captains goes to this house one more time, saying that they can gather one more correspondent, Iris said that I will soar, and Kit says, "I don't want you to go without me. I'm going with you. Will that be acceptable, Captain?" He said, "The two of you go back. You have 5 minutes to meet me out front by the lorry." They go in this lorry, in this truck, and she unfortunately had to sit on Roman Kit's lap nearly all the way to the front lines. Gives me the vibe of Audrey and Thomas from Stalking the Reaper by Carrie Maniscalco. If you read this, you get this. There was no doubt in her mind that he was as uncomfortable as she was, especially when she heard him groan after a particularly deep set of ruts in the road, which seemed to knock their thoughts sideways. "Am I hurting you?" Iris asked him. "No." "Are you squinted, kid?" She teased. She could feel his breath in her hair as he murmured, "Do you want to turn and see for yourself, we know?" A bad dream trope? When he is comforting her when she had a bad dream? Sold. I need like 10 minutes break from the book because of something that happened. A bomb fell near them where they were hiding in the trenches. At the end of the chapter, his grip on her tightened just before the explosion blew them apart. It can be anything that happens. I don't know that like one of them like dies. I don't think so, because yeah, but something will happen. On page 252, and she finally knows it's him. And when he was injured and they were trying to escape, his leg was hurted. The one thing that he asked her to do is to get his bag, because in his bag were all letters she wrote to him. He started to fall for both of them, for the Roman himself and for the carver, so the letter friend. When she knew it's the same person, it was the rush of emotions that I felt. It was a relief, it was hundreds of questions. If I were Iris, the way that she knew it's him, it's goddamn beautiful. It's well played, Rebecca Ross. Well played. Favorite part? The confessions that it was him. And they were saying that he was lying to her all this time. God, it's the best thing that ever happened to me on Saturday night. I need to say to you something. You mentioned the other day that you think I'm only here to outshine you. But that's the further thing from the truth. I broke my engagement, quit my job, and traveled 600 kilometers into war-torn land to be with you. I would fold after this. I do believe in love from the first words written on paper. And so it's already the next afternoon, and I was really tired yesterday to read the book till the end, because I have right now, it's like less than 100 pages left, but I was too tired. I think I lose superpower to read the book all night, but it's fine. I wanted to share with you something of my thoughts, actually. Everything in the book, I mean, the romance, it feels pretty quick. But we're talking about the romance in the war, near the front line, and as the characters mention, you are not guaranteed with the other day. That many people get married while the war times. Their relationship survived after the war. It's the only thing that could ever, in my mind, approve such a quick action inside of the book. I mean, the romance, because they had like what, through the letters, then couple of months to work together as a work correspondents, and then there is a proposal now, and I'm like, first of all, I thought that I will get an ick. An ick, it's a feeling when you discuss it with something, but no, actually it's pretty smooth here, and I can accept it. If they will marry, I will marry. Something will definitely happen. Enemy will erase. Nothing could be so smooth when there is another books and sequels. I like this quote, I like this dialogue at all. She said that I didn't deserve it. I don't deserve to be this happy, not when there is so much pain and terror and loss in the world. And he says, why would you say that? Do you think we could live in a world made only of those things? Death and pain and horror, loss and agony. It's not a crime to feel joy, even when things seem hopeless, Iris. Look at me, you deserve all the happiness in the world, and I intend to see that you have it. No one had ever worshipped her like this. And that's the only attitude that I accept from the man. I knew it would be hard. Something was coming. Something devastating, something groundbreaking, something that will change the whole pace of the story, but I didn't expect it that. So cruel. I knew it from the start that I would be hooked up by the ending and I will starve for another book. And I'm starving because so many emotions right now, I can't even explain them and shape it in the world. So many secrets revealed, and they got separated. The next book will be tough. I mean, it will be tough. I once had this feeling when I was reading The Hunger Games and Katniss and Pete were separated. And I can barely imagine that everything that will happen next will be somehow similar. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will get this book into your TBR and will read it. You will not waste your time, I promise. I promise you will like it, and I hope as much as I liked it. That was all for today. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you like it. Don't forget to leave some comments. See you in a while.